You're listening to The Bird Bath. Welcome back to The Bird Bath. Each week we scrape the surface of the news you need to know, so let's get into it. Kicking us off this week is a new name and a new franchise opportunity from a group that many of you already know. The new company Homeward Vet is being brought to market and available by the founders of NOMV, which is short for Mobile Veterinary Specialists. After several years of successful growth of the business moves, they're now launching the franchise opportunity for veterinarians under the Homeward Vet brand name. It's a new national veterinary house call franchise opportunity. NOMV over the last few years has grown to over 40 board-certified mobile veterinary surgeons, cardiologists, and internists, and now many of those same doctors are franchise owners within the group. So there's a really neat opportunity here, and one that I'm always interested in the franchise model, something that's been successful for many years in the veterinary space. The investment is what moves, and I guess Homeward Vet also says, is for as low as $30,000, the franchise-only model will enable more veterinarians to realize their dreams of professional independence while benefiting from the organizational support of the Moves network. This is a neat way to look at it. A lot of companies in the vet space have grown with, alongside, or from the franchise model. One that always sticks out to me was the original franchise model of Banfield clinics across PetSmart locations, and the huge growth that we saw from that and the eventual disenfranchising, I don't know the right word, but coming back of the franchise from, or buyback of the franchise by the Mars Group, or by Mars, when they wanted to bring all those franchises back in-house. But a lot of those doctors have gone on to form incredible and successful businesses. There's also other groups in the mobile space as well. One that sticks out to me is Vetama, which has been doing great work in Southern California, helping a lot of mobile doctors get up and running. The mobile veterinary space is still booming. It's one that we saw grow pretty well during the pandemic. The upfront cost to start a clinic and the work-life balance that a lot of doctors find when they're looking at mobile practices is a pretty cool way for people to be able to experience it. Now, while looking at a franchise gives them the opportunity as well here to be able to have, in some ways, sort of a partner or someone to help hold their hands or hold your hands in those first steps of setting up a business and wondering what the marketing plan should look like, and what type of van to buy and what sort of things you need to look at to outfit the right operations to be able to get off on the best foot. So really neat to see Homeward Vet, and a great move from the team at Moves to bring that to market. Now, if you're the parent of a Maine Coons, this is news that you've been waiting for quite a while, and it's something that a lot of other cats across the world are going to be happy about. There's a targeted formulation of the drug rapamycin, and it's been shown to reverse hypertrophic cardiomyopathy in cats, HCM to be shorter, because let's be honest, I'll mispronounce that eventually. It is now the first treatment to successfully treat HCM in felines. The drug's major success in clinical trials has put it on track now to receive expanded conditional approval from the FDA, and they're in their final studies to figure out the next steps of the process to start getting this to market. We've talked about some of these steps and processes for the drugs that Loyal has produced, and I'm not going to call them anti-aging, but slowing or reducing the speed of aging for large dogs. And now something HCM that really tackles and affects a lot of cats has made a major stride here as well. Dr. Joshua Stern, who's a cardiologist, associate dean for research and graduate studies at NC State College of Veterinary Medicine, and who is leading the research on the study, said in their press release, "We're enrolling cats in one of the largest feline clinical trials ever conducted." So the Loyal study we talked about maybe a month or so ago, it just passed 1,000 dogs. And this study is really big as well. The final study is being conducted at more than 20 sites throughout the US, with researchers aiming to enroll 300 client-owned cats. The research has been collaborated between Stern and his team at NC State and Trivium Vet, which is an animal health company out of Ireland, who funded the research and has patented the delayed release formulation of rapamycin. According to NC State, Stern's lab discovered that rapamycin could slow or reverse the thickening of the heart muscles in felines with HCM before patients showed any symptoms of the disease, which is super cool. You know, a lot of the conversations we have around access to care or taking care of animals is a lot on the wellness and the preventative care and the ability to make sure that our animals aren't having these issues and that we're not just solving the problem, but we're keeping the problems from ever happening. I think Dr. Stern said it really well here by saying having a useful therapeutic will completely result in a paradigm shift for veterinarians. We've been playing defense against this disease for many, many years. We're going to go on the offensive now. So congratulations to the team there. If you want to partake in the study, you do have to be referred by your veterinarian, but I will put a link in the show notes. And it's a great way to engage in something that could save a life and save many, many more cats' lives around the world. If this story sounds like I'm repeating myself, it's because this company has been on a buying kick. Seattle-based Rover, which many of you know is an online marketplace for pet sitters, has acquired GooDog, which is a dog sitting and walking platform which has footprint in UK, Ireland, France, Spain, Germany, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. The deal here is a carry-on from their October deal that they bought and acquired Cat in the Flat Marketplace, which is a feline pet sitting platform. Rover's massively expanding their global footprint after starting in the US, and they've continued to see a lot of excessive growth over the past couple years. Now, if you're wondering why that is, well, it's important to know that in November of 2023, Rover was acquired by Blackstone for $2.3 billion. They've continued to see a lot of growth with that massive private equity backer and a group that's continuing to see an opportunity to tackle and own the global at-home pet sitting marketplace. Just to focus on the US, we've seen a lot of the growth in the boarding and grooming facilities. We saw Canine Resorts just launched a large franchise opportunity in Florida. We've seen a lot of others grow around the US. But Rover has the unique slant in the sort of Airbnb-esque way that people still want to see their pets cared for at their home or at a home of someone that's there consistently with them. So big moves for Rover here. If the earlier story about trying to knock HCM off of its feet got you excited, now is the time to fill out your applications for Purina's 2026 research grants on the human-animal bond. They're targeting funding for universities, NGOs, and research institutions, and those organizations can apply for up to $40,000 in funding. You've got from now until August 15th to be able to fill these out. And the goal of this year's funding is studying the human-animal interactions. They want to make sure that these funds are prioritizing the role of pets in the lives of people in vulnerable situations, including those experiencing abuse or post-traumatic stress disorder. Also, the effects of human-animal interactions on pet well-being, the bond between people and cats, so there's a great one, and a lot of other things, but really focusing on that human-animal interaction component. The application deadline, as I said, is August 15th. Then they'll be making their evaluations through September and letting people know if they've been awarded these grants in fall of 2025, with that money to be spent and all the studies completed by December of 2027. So again, if you're a university, an NGO, or a research institution, there's a lot of other criteria. They're looking for folks that have PhDs and recent PhDs to participate, as well as a ton of other things. But a real opportunity here to be able to work alongside Purina and their massive footprint to fund some important understanding and care for the animals that we love around this world. Now, if I could talk another thing around the world, there's a race around the world going on. Not One More Vet, as many know, NOMV, has kicked off their annual race around the world. It's their annual awareness campaign and fundraiser to support veterinary medical professionals' mental health. Participants can sign up online and then they track their activities throughout the month of May. Every single person that participates raises money and helps to fund the important work that NOMV does throughout the year. You don't have to have a team. You can sign up yourself, or you can even sign up with a team from your work or a team of people from within your clinic. But it's an opportunity not only to get out there and move and kick off the summer with some really great activities, but it's also a great way to make sure that we can fight and combat the difficult mental health challenges that impact the veterinary industry. The money goes all towards NOMV. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and every single thing that they do relies on generosity of donors. The race around the world is a large part of their annual income, and they use these funds to support several programs, including supporting grants to individuals in crisis, educational programming, peer support programs, and education programs. So if you want to participate or donate, now is the time to sign up. I will make sure that we put a link. There's been a ton of great companies stepping up to participate, as well as a ton of really cool teams. So whether you found a team or built a team for yourself or just want to give, make sure to find a partner to be able to knock this out. It's not something that ever gets fully solved, but it's something that we can always chip away at trying to make our profession the safest, most wonderful place for people to be able to practice. Finally, I want to hear from you all. We're about almost halfway through the year here. We're coming up nearing my 100th episode of the Bird Bath in about a month. And I wanted to hear what you've been enjoying. What are the things you want to hear more about? What kind of stories do you want to give deeper into? Do you want to hear more financial reports? Do you want to hear more medical breakthroughs or feel-good stories from around our industry? Send me a line at hello@thebirdbath.io. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to see how we can help continue to grow this podcast that I love doing and bringing to the industry. And for more on these and other stories, join us by subscribing to our Substack. There's a link in the bio. And don't miss out on any episodes by subscribing and rating the show. For the Bird Bath, I'm Ryan Leach. See you next week.